What the heck is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of You Know It, You Love It, the Mostly Movies podcast with Nick and Christian. He's Nick, I'm Christian, coming to you live from a frigid Airbnb. There's another tenant here, and we'll get into it later, but we've been battling with the thermostat upstairs, and it's been pretty brisk, I will say. But today, the movie we're mostly discussing is Final Destination Part 6, starring Caitlin Santawana, which I always thought that guy was a myth, Marijuana Santa, Richard Harmon, and Tony Todd, and a bunch of other people who I don't know, you don't know, and I'm not gonna waste our time going through the whole list. But as always, before we get into all of that, please head over to thescreengods.com for all of Nick's latest movie reviews and our full library of podcast episodes. You can find it all at thescreengods.com. And of course, you can always find us on YouTube, TikTok, Spotify, IG, and X for more clips, reels, and other fun content. Pretty much anywhere you get your podcasts, we are in there. We might even have a Tubi deal at this point. So, Final Destination Part 6, dude. Like I said, I fired up Final Destination 5 last night because I saw it on HBO Max or Max or whatever it is. Did you hear they're going back to HBO Max now too? Which is really funny.
as far as
yeah, they're going back again. It's insane. Whoever's making these decisions.
It never made sense to take the part of you that has brand recognition and toilet it. That was the stupidest thing.
Well, how many
ever.
boardroom meetings are they going to have over this same fucking topic? It's crazy.
As many as the charts do this in the boardroom.
I don't know if it's related to what the name of it is, but yeah, it's all very strange. But anyways, so
Imagine for a second if the Taco Bell people just got together and go, you know what, we're just gonna call it the Bell, and just watch this sales plummet into fucking usually you do the swearing on the show. Sorry, I'm a little fired up. I'm having tech issues tonight.
Yeah.
So I'm a little froggy tonight. Sorry,
you're a little on edge.
I'm a little on edge. Maybe it's all that PTSD from Final Destination 6.
Dude, every movement I make now, I was warming up some dinner, and every movement I make now is pulling out a plate very carefully, putting it on the counter very carefully. I'm very aware of my surroundings, getting a cup out of the cupboard, making sure the cupboard's closed, making sure the oven's off. I'm basically
these are all just basic household safety things that you should just be doing on the daily.
Making sure the propane's turned off.
Yeah.
All sharp objects are put away. It's basically baby proofing.
You're like, I gotta make sure the lint trap's emptied.
Yeah.
Well, and I
had a decent drive home on the freeway, and I was very keen of my surroundings, put it that way. A lot of checking my rearview mirror.
On the way out in the parking garage, I told Christian, I said, drive home safe. And then I was like, a lot of logs on the road, which I think we could start there, right? I think the log so you fired up number 5. I haven't seen anything since the first one, which was back in 2000, I think it was, or something, a long time ago. And so I was a youngster. I was still in high school, actually, when the original came out, which is telling you how old I am. And so, 2000 is when that came out. So I remember there being logs, I think, in that one. And they kept with that theme in this one. There's little drops in it. So I don't know if that's by design. I think so, because, spoiler, at the end, the logs become pretty critical. So
yeah, at the very end. And that was just like for nostalgia.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's just a nostalgia thing. Yeah.
That's like that opening scene from the first one, I think, is the most like iconic scene. That's the scene everybody thinks about when you think about Final Destination. And it's like a common, and we all share the same like sentiment. Anytime you see a truck with lumber on it,
yeah,
you get a little nervous still to this day because of that scene, which is pretty funny.
It is funny because we're talking over 20 years later, over 20 years later, and you're not wrong. I mean, I've done several road trips over the years since then, and you see it, and you can't help but think about it.
And you speed the fuck around it. That's the one thing I get in front of at all costs.
It reminds me, so there's that freaks me out, but not to go too off on a tangent, but just real quick, because you reminded me of this from a nostalgia standpoint. There was a movie that came out when I was even younger than that. I think it is, let me see if I can pull it up, but there's a movie called Arachnophobia, 1990, so 10 years earlier. So I was only probably 9 or something like that, right? Like I was pretty, or maybe even younger than that, like 7. Probably too
Jesus.
young to be
Oh my
watching
God,
it. Which,
dude.
which now which now that I'm thinking about it, I'm kind of like, that's why I was so freaking traumatized.
God. Did you have a pack of Marlboro Reds?
Jesus. No, I think afterwards, yeah. No, what's funny about this is that the arachnophobia, if you haven't seen it, it probably 100% does not hold up today. But I don't know because I haven't
I
seen it,
don't
but
think so.
I'm pretty sure it doesn't. But there's one scene in there. You would think that a 7-year-old would be afraid of all the spiders because that's what it's centered around. Have you seen the film Arachnophobia?
Yes, one time, long time ago.
Right. You were also 7, just 20 years later, whatever the math is.
Is Sean William Scott in that?
I don't think so. I
I
don't
think
think
he
so.
is. I
No,
think he
unless he's like a
is.
baby. Is he a baby? Let's
He's
see.
pretty old, dude.
No, Jeff Daniels is the star of that movie. Holy crap. And John Goodman. Oh, now we got to watch it just to do it. Jeff
Okay.
Daniels and John Goodman were leading in this horror film. God, that sounds awesome. Maybe it
Oh,
does hold up.
we should do a watch along
We got to
podcast.
do that. Oh, that would be
that'd
cool.
be great.
We have not done that yet. We should definitely do that.
Yeah.
The film follows a small California town. So also that. But anyway, point is, real quick, in that movie, you would think a 7-year-old would be afraid of the spiders and all that. No. The scene that traumatized me from that movie is there is a family and they're on the road in like the mountains on the, like, you know how you go in the mountains and it's just a 2-lane highway and you're winding.
Sure.
There's a scene where the family just comes up over a rise in the hills and they just get head on smashed in by a semi
Sick.
and they're all dead.
That's
But at
Final
7 years
Destination.
old, that's what I'm saying. But at 7 years old, it must have scarred the shit out of me because I still think about it to this day all the time. So when we're on the roads, and you haven't done really any road trips with me, but if you ever do, you'll see when I'm on highways, dude, I'm hugging the side of the road. I'm like damn near off the road. And Jamie, my wife, she's like, dude, what are you doing? I'm like, dude, you got to be ready. And that's all because of this arachnophobia movie when I was 7 years old.
Well, I mean, that's a useful trauma, though. You know what I mean?
I guess, yeah.
Like, that's one of
Road safety.
Yeah, that definitely keeps you on your. That's gonna keep you on your toes. But isn't that highway? Is it the PCH along the coast down there in LA, like the most dangerous fucking highway because of that reason? It's all twists and turns, or is it Highway 1? I don't know.
It's highway. I think it's
I
one
don't
or
know what the
101.
PCH is. I'm an idiot.
Well,
but-
no, PCH is down there. You're right about that. PCH. I don't know if it's the same. I think it probably. Yeah, Highway 1. You're right. You're right on all fronts. So don't give yourself a little more credit.
Yeah. I guess that's like I think the most dangerous fucking highway in the world. Or not in the world, but there's definitely. I've seen those videos of like those roads in China through the mountains where there's no guardrail. It's just like dirt. Have you seen those? Where it's like one lane and there's
course.
no guardrail. Yeah, and it's like an 18-wheeler trying to go through it. Yeah,
and it's an 18-wheeler that was made in like 1964, and it's
like falling off the side.
It's falling apart. It's falling apart and falling off the side of the road.
It's fucking insane.
You're actually pretty close. It's actually 99 now, is the highest number of fatalities with nearly 90 deaths per year and almost 400 crashes. So it is now the deadliest.
99.
Right in our backyard. You gotta love that.
Yeah, I wonder what stretch of it.
I for my research there. All right, Andy, let's talk Final Destination.
we're talking traffic accidents now.
All because of Final Destination 1 and its logging trauma that it gave. So, as usual, we'll very quickly. I'll recap the plot for this. Now, you guys all, if you haven't seen Final Destination 1 through 5, you don't need the full thesis of what it is. You know what Final Destination is. This one centers around with a main character, and I've already forgotten her name. What's her name? The main character.
Iris?
Dude, it's right in your title. Irish chick. That's your handle today.
Irishman.
No, Iris is the grandma. But the granddaughter, who is the main, she's like a college student. She's like in her 20 or something. Anyway, she's having these recurring nightmares about her grandma, and it's all premonition of people dying of Final Destination type of stuff. And it's keeping her up at night and stuff like that. So she can't sleep. She's flunking out of school and whatever. So she goes home to try to connect with her grandma because her family is really weird about her grandma and stuff. Anyway, that's kind of the thesis of the plot. It's very, very quick where, you find out that her grandma kind of set off a chain of events that's now gone on for, the better part of 5 decades or something like that. And so it's kind of, that's what the movie is centered around.
She cheated death. Can't cheat death.
Yeah, and there's a lot of that kind of analogies and stuff in the movie about if you get in death's way, if you try to cheat him, like all those things.
Her name's
Very
Stephanie, by the way. I got it. I
Stephanie.
finally pulled it. Stephanie.
Stephanie, I think they call her Steffi. Yeah, so thank you for that. Anyway, so that's the plot. Let's hear your thoughts. I think it's better when you start with your commentary and give me your rating of it. I would kind of like to play off of you. So give me your thoughts.
Well, compared to the last one was in 2011, so it's obviously I wasn't expecting, I wasn't expecting anything, but it actually was a lot more entertaining than I thought it was going to be. All the deaths were pretty on par with Final Destination, but they put their own wrinkle in it, and I thought some of them were really creative. The MRI machine was probably my personal favorite, but it had a lot of good humorous moments, and the acting was good, a lot better than I thought it was going to be. But I came home and the owners of the Airbnb asked me how I liked it, and I was really kind of just unable to answer. I was just like, it is what it is. It's a Final Destination movie. That's what I would say. But again, it was funny. There was some really creative parts, but yeah. The last one wasn't even as bad as I thought it was going to be. But yeah, 14 years later, obviously, it was a much needed upgrade. I couldn't believe if they're going to do another one, and how they keep creating new ways to kill people, which is pretty fucked up when you think about it. They're just sitting in a room and thinking about these things.
Oh yeah,
which is pretty fucking dark.
I think about that on all horror movies, but we can come back to that. Keep going.
Yeah, I was gonna say the lawnmower to the face was really good. I hate heights, so the opening scene for me was pretty fucking terrifying, and I clammed up immediately when she got onto the elevator. And yeah, that's honestly, out of like all the gore and shit, like that scares me the most, which is kind of funny. But it was that supposed to be like the fucking Space Needle, but not the Space Needle.
Pretty much, yeah. There's like a pre-Space Needle. Yeah, cool. Well, I think, when it comes to, it is interesting when we get into these types of movies, especially franchise movies, right? Like you're almost rating it against itself, not really against anything else. Can
I say this real quick?
Yeah.
This franchise has a pretty good following. And I know it's $6 Tuesday or whatever, but there's a lot of people there that seem pretty hyped for it.
I mean, we've been in $6 Tuesdays for the last half year.
Yeah.
So that's saying something, because there's not that many people than any of the movies.
Yeah, so this franchise has and it's like I'll watch all of them. If they make another one, I don't know if I'll see it. I don't know if I have to see it in theater, but yeah, I'd watch another one. But anyways, continue. I just thought that was interesting.
No, yeah.
It's kind of got that Saw-like following.
It does.
Probably a lot of crossover there.
It's interesting you bring up Saw, because one of the previews to this movie, because in a horror movie like this, you get all the horror previews, right? And so you've got one coming out, which is the Megan, the AI doll Megan movie.
Looks fucking insane.
Which is I've never seen the first one, but I just realized then the director of that Megan 2 that's coming out is James Wan, who is the one who did Saw. So it's just interesting. So maybe it's better than I think. I don't know. It's like a new Chucky, right? Or Megan is, or something like that. So
yeah. I'm assuming you didn't see the first Megan.
I didn't see the first one, no.
Okay. The first one was basically like Chucky, but this one they added a whole nother element to it with another robot, and it looks fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, anyway, back to Final Destination. So I was gonna say, when you're getting into franchises like this, you either almost want to unrank it, like you don't want to really necessarily rank it on a heat meter scale, but that's what we do here. So I think when it comes to entertainment, that's what we do. In watchability, you said, I'll watch them all. It was better than you expected. I do think I've noticed that the acting, at least in some of the ones we've seen lately, is better than maybe some of these movies in the past would get. And I don't know why that would be, but I totally agree. I was watching, my take on the acting was the same. It was kind of like no one was poor, really.
On the hipster, well, I don't even know what you call him anymore, but the tattoo
Eric.
artist kid, Eric, he was fucking hilarious.
I was gonna he stole the movie, really.
That line about is that why he wants to play catch with me was fucking perfect, and he had a lot of those too.
Yeah,
with the peanuts in the RV. You know what's fun about these movies too is you find yourself when everything's like, when the wheels are coming off in every situation, you find yourself trying to guess what's going to happen each time.
Uh-huh.
And they do a good job of like misdirecting, placing
Right.
things where you think something's going to happen and they move it or
Right.
so that's something fun about these movies too. You're just kind of always guessing.
Well,
You
and
kind
that's
of
something that they're learning as the filmmakers, right? Because they wouldn't have done that 20 years ago. It's just they have to keep, I'm always impressed with creative minds in every aspect, not just movies, but everywhere the whole point of creativity, if you really think about it, is whatever is conventional or whatever's been done, you're trying to find something that's not that, but that resonates with people. It's a really weird thing. Like I listened to this podcast one time, not to go too off on a tangent, but there's a guy who has a podcast named Andrew Huberman. He does a lot of sunlight stuff, a lot of science stuff. He's a professor, I think, at Yale or something like that. Anyway, he always has all these guests on, right? Kind of how Joe Rogan does. And he has this one. He had one of the writers from like old LA, like an old Hollywood producer or something. He was really big at 25, 30, 40 years ago or something. Anyway, he was talking to him about creativity and like how do you be creative? And I tried to. There was a 3-hour podcast, and I was working out, and I was trying to listen to this guy explain what creativity is and I
Jesus
still
Christ,
and I
dude.
still came away like, holy crap! It's really hard to describe. It's
No
almost
shit.
indescribable. Like, how do you define it? Like, how do you define? Like, how do you create it? How do you replicate it? Right? Because some people just have it, and some people don't. And then there's different things where like some people have it, but it resonates more than other people's work. And so that's what makes art, and to bring it back to movie making, so interesting is because they have to keep people are trying to push the boundaries almost like a chef, no matter like what you're looking at, like push the boundary, like how can we change this, how can we make it more interesting, how can we do this, and they're just relentless with it.
Right. And in this situation, they're taking like let's say you take a steak as a
Right,
chef and you're just trying to figure out how many different ways can I cook this steak.
that's what I'm
And that's
saying.
exactly what Final Destination is.
Yeah, it's exactly
It's
that.
the same model, but how can we,
Right.
which is almost even harder than, well, I wouldn't say it's harder or not harder, but compared to just thinking of a completely different movie plot, you know what I mean?
Well, it's harder. I think you're right. I think it's harder to
To make
surprise
this
people for sure.
right.
Right? Like that's why most sequels are never as good as the original. That's because the original is the original, right? So you can't. That's what makes it an original. Is that it's the same again. Bring it back to art. It's the reason why the original art piece is $742,000 if you want to buy it, and the copies are $1,000
Right.
because you can't replicate the original no matter how hard you try because it's not original anymore. So yeah, anyway, you're right. It is a challenge, but they do a good. It's incredible, like you said, that they continue to find ways to do it now. I don't know how many writers were on this thing, how many people are talking about a boardroom, and how many people are in there trying to figure out how do we make this thing original. I mean, I think part of the reason they're able to do it is they just bring in so many people because you have to. Like, you got to bring in a bunch of brains more often than not, I think.
Well, and this one they definitely took some more time for the plot and to come up compared to the other movies where it was just a new group of friends and just a new tragedy happens every single time. I don't think there was any.
Right.
I'm pretty sure there was no connectivity or crossover from any of the other movies except for the character Tony Scott plays the coroner. I think he's the only guy who's been in every single movie.
I don't even
But
recognize the that guy, the coroner. I don't even remember seeing the coroner. Where was the coroner? Oh,
the
I'm
black
sorry.
the
I'm
only black
sorry.
guy in the movie.
I didn't even realize he was a coroner. I thought he was just at a hospital doing stuff. No, he's
Well, in
100%
the
the coroner.
yeah, it wasn't clear in this one, but in the last one, he had like the coroner jacket on. That's the only
Yeah,
reason I know that.
I see it in the pictures now. The coroner. Yeah, you're talking about his actual name is Tony Todd.
Tony Todd, sorry.
Yeah,
Rest in peace. My bad, Tony.
yeah. He just passed away. That's right.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, he did not look well.
no, but
He did not look well.
he was poor guy. He was really, really skin and bones. You know what's weird though? He said in this movie, Tony Todd, the actor, said that he was dying, and I bet you he wrote that in because he probably
Definitely.
was.
And
Yeah,
the line where that was definitely like
a
that's
shout
kind
out.
of kind of eerie because he was he did the whole nothing lasts forever. Yeah, he definitely wrote all that in, which is
Right.
kind of sweet.
Yeah, no, it's cool when they do that. It's creepy, but cool. So yeah, I
as a kid's getting tacoed into an MRI machine by
oh
a
my
fucking
god.
wheelchair.
Yeah, yeah. So I would say my review of it, to kind of bring it is like I think if I just keep it within the franchise, and granted, I've only seen two of them, so I'm not really comparing it to the other four that I missed. But to your point about like it's harder to keep things interesting, and I think they did a good job of like you said, they got away from the group of friends thing and they made it family oriented. That's the whole Bloodlines subtitle of this movie. It's actually called Final Destination Bloodlines, not Final Destination 6. But so
Oh shit.
I thought that was interesting. So that's, like you said, give him a little credit for that because you're giving him a different, foundation to the movie. And the acting was pretty good. And I think they done a really good job of the adding levity with all the jokes, which I don't know if they do that in the other ones.
Not as well. Definitely not
Yeah.
as well. Then it's way obviously more corny
Yeah.
and hacky.
So I would give it, 3.5 stars as an overall film with because the kills and stuff like that. There's several of them where, and I know this is intentional, but it has gone away a little bit of the realism has gone away. Like some of the kills, I'm like, okay, like where their heads are getting squished in like a dumpster, and it's like, okay, I don't think that's how that would probably go in real life. I think it would probably look a little different. I've never seen it in real life,
Yeah. I was
but it
gonna, I
almost
was
looked
gonna
like they
say.
were squishing like a water balloon, which it looked a little
Yeah.
cartoony in some places. So
Yeah, definitely.
and I
For
don't,
sure.
again, if that was an intentional choice, okay. Or it may have just not been, may have just missed the mark. But anyway, overall, what's the kid's name? Let's look it up because I didn't want to do this new not a section, but a quick thing that I think would be really cool to do on this pod for everybody because not everyone's going to see these movies. Not everyone's going to know who these people are. And not all of the people in these movies need to be mentioned. They're not all up and coming stars. But to your point, for people who like still the screen, I think it's important, especially if they're not well known, to share that with people. Like, who is this person? And so I wanted to give a shout out to the Eric character, but I gotta actually pull up the correct one here. Bloodlines.
Oh,
So
his name's Richard Harmon.
okay, yeah, keep your eye out for him because
Yeah,
it's
he's
not
good.
just that the character was written. I feel like he executed it really, really well. Like, great
No, he was
job
great.
by Richard Harmon, who I feel like I've seen him somewhere. But he was in a movie called The Age of Adeline with Blake Lively. But I and Harrison Ford. I never saw that though, so I can't really say if that was good. But anyway, keep your eye out for him. He's done a lot of work on TV and stuff over the years, but that was a pretty good performance. So,
Yeah,
all
there was
right,
a lot of call me crazy, but there was just a lot of lookalikes in this movie. Like he looked like Elijah Wood to me a little bit.
lightweight.
The uncle looked like Kiefer Sutherland if his eyes were on the other sides of his head. The blonde girl Jules looked like Jordan to me in the face a little bit, and
The cousin
yeah,
Julia.
yeah, she kind of looked like Jordan to me. And then there was then like the main girl was like a Selena, like a Shoprite Selena Gomez,
ShopRite. What is a ShopRite? Like a
like
Timu?
yeah, like a Timu Selena Gomez.
Wow, that's
Or no, you know what the kids say? They call it a great value. Yeah, she's a
the
great value.
Walmart brand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
This is just she is catching absolute strays for no reason at all. Sorry, what's her
Oh,
name?
Caitlin.
Jesus, who the person we're just roasting,
Her name is
calling a
Santa.
Walmart Selena Gomez.
Her name
Her,
is Santa.
is it really? No, you lie. It's not Santa.
Caitlin Santawana.
You're right. Santa one.
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
She's Santa Claus.
She's Jesus. Anyway, yeah. I don't think she looks like Selena Gomez even remotely, but that's my opinion.
Yeah, great value, Selena Gomez.
Oh God. Okay. Don't
Anyways,
listen to Irish Christian Caitlin.
um,
You're fine.
all right. So what death are you picking?
Yeah, let's do that. So just from this movie, because there's a million deaths in all these in this
Oh yeah,
franchise.
no,
So we got things to pick from.
I barely remember all of them from this movie. I
We
gotta go over
got
them
yeah.
again.
Let's actually see if we can even remember. So there is your personal favorite, and Jordan appreciated the magnet into getting tacoed into an MRI machine via magnet. That
Yes.
was one. Then there was getting corkscrewed in the eye with a vending machine coil, also via magnet,
Yeah.
right in front of
That
the MRI machine.
that one's quick. You had Iris who had one of those north, south, east, west
It's
steel
called
sign
it's called a
steel
weather vane.
what
Yes.
Jesus Christ. How do you know that?
I sell them. Yeah.
Oh, okay. My God, showing
Also,
off.
just a lot of people know what a weather vane is, but you're suburban. You
Do
don't have
they?
one.
All right. Anyways,
Well,
yeah.
most of the
Okay.
country
Well,
does.
she gets stabbed
Weather vanes.
through the jaw face region
Yeah.
with a weather vane. That was pretty
Yeah.
gnarly. The mom gets crushed by an electrical pole after getting blown up. That
Yeah,
was pretty brutal.
that one was quick and easy. That one was whatever. The cousin Julia, she gets her head squeezed off in a garbage truck. I would not want to go out that way.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
That one looked pretty rough.
That was really funny when she got hit with the soccer ball into the trash can, though.
Yeah, she just fell in the trash can.
I like how they perfectly laid out. That was pretty damn good.
It
That
was
scene.
it was funny because that yeah they her premonition of like I don't like especially because she did it so nonchalant. I don't know, like maybe a soccer ball
Yeah.
hits you in the head and you fall over. Yeah, that was actually pretty funny. It was one of those ones where you see it coming the whole time. You know it's coming. And like you said, they're misdirecting it, but you're just like, okay, when is it gonna happen? And then it does, and it's almost so cheesy that it doesn't work, but they pull it off. It's pretty funny. So there's that.
I appreciated that kill. I like we love the like kind of the mouse like the mousetrap kills where you know a water glass falls on the ground and the water hits an electrical socket.
Right.
That electrical socket fries. That catches fire. That fire goes to the whatever it is. Like there's those kills and then there's kind of those surprise ones, which I kind of appreciate the surprise ones a little bit more at this point. You know what I
I
mean?
like the term you just used, the mousetrap kill.
Yeah.
That's got to be a Christian original there. I like that. The mousetrap kill. You're right. Those are the best ones.
That could
What
be the
is
name
the
of it.
what's
That
the
could be the name of a serial killer, the Mousetrap
the
Killer.
mousetrap killer? Oh my god. Dude, we got to start writing screenplays. I'll talk about that offline.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
Cut it.
that's
Cut
pretty
that.
good. We love the screenplays.
Bleep out that.
So then there was also I mean there's so many more.
The
There was
uncle with the lawnmower to the face.
right.
Pretty brutal. What
What
are we
about
missing?
what about the non-kill, which was Eric, or the guy we were shouting out, where he's supposed to die in the tattoo shop and he gets hitched on to a chain on the ceiling in his nose piercing and lifted off the ground, and that whole thing was pretty funny.
I had a feeling when they didn't actually show him, because they show everybody die. Oop, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, I thought the audio cut out. Okay. Yeah, because as soon as they didn't show him die, I kind of had an inclination. But yeah,
Right.
that was cool too. And yeah, that's kind of what we were talking about. The kind of all the misdirection they have to do now, just to throw you off. But
Yeah.
in the end, no one makes it out alive. They know. Appreciate about these movies too. They're just like, fuck it, dude. And the kid. Okay, and can we talk about the kid in the beginning? He was great. The little snot nosed
Yes.
5-year-old.
Yeah. I think he's
When he
8,
called
but
when
yeah.
he called that cop when he called that cop a fat ass, that was
Yeah.
hilarious.
That was funny. Yeah. And that's what and that's what I mean, like with the levity that they did in this movie. There's like stuff like that where you're like, anyway, so I think of all those, probably the way I would like to go out is probably the way the mom went out, because just a foam pole to the head, you're just out quick. Like she was just like, no pun
Yeah,
intended.
splattered. Splattered. Ooh, that guy in the beginning who got crushed in the elevator too, that was pretty brutal. When he got crushed in half, when the elevator was too full and he got caught
Yeah.
in between. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty brutal.
Well, so that was cool because in that one, he gets caught, but it's not the doors. That was smart of them. It wasn't the doors that cut him in half. It was the door shut. He got trapped, and then it went down, and it
Right,
was
it
the
dropped.
elevator going down that splattered him everywhere, which was, again, like you said at the 20 minutes ago, who's sitting in these rooms thinking about this is pretty messed up. It's pretty dark.
I think that's how I want to go. I just want to be a big pile of slop, just meat soup. I
The
just wanna be-
elevator drop. No, I can't. No, that's not
I want to
me.
look. I want to look like the substance by the end of it. Just meat stew.
You know, I will say this, and you got me thinking about The Substance. Great movie. Very entertaining. Go check out our review on The Substance, guys. It's one of the first ones we did, and probably in the last year, still the movie with the biggest reaction in theater, for sure. Not even close. In-person reaction. But back to this one. So I want to bring it full circle because you talked about at the top of this movie how you have a fear of heights. And the whole first 35 minutes of this movie is in the pre-steeple, of course, pre-Space Needle, we'll call it, in the 50s, and I was right there with you. Like as soon as that scene opened, I'm like, oh God, I don't like heights either. I in particular don't like heights on rooftops, which is completely
Yeah.
irrational, and it's not because of the fear that the building is going to collapse, although that adds a whole new thing to be afraid of. It's actually my irrational fear of it is I'm just afraid someone's going to push me off. That is the most Final
I
Destination fear that
swear.
I have, is that
Me
someone's going to
too.
sneeze and slip on a banana peel like it's Mario Brothers and freaking
I
bump into
swear
me
to
and I'm
God.
gonna fly off.
Dude, even at like a hotel, if you're up high and there's a balcony,
Mm-mm.
I don't like it.
No.
I feel like something is gonna pick me up and throw me over the fucking edge. Probably myself.
Okay. Yeah,
Probably my
the,
probably my intrusive thoughts, but
yeah, that like let's just add that to the list of other
that
reasons why you shouldn't drink because you just end up throwing yourself off balconies.
yeah.
You know.
Uh or you end up in a hot tub like Matthew Perry.
Oh, rest in peace, Matthew Perry.
Yeah, sorry. No, I have that same irrational fear is my point.
Right.
I feel like something I'm gonna fall off the fucking edge, or like the glass floor that they were dancing on. Fuck,
Right.
get the fuck out of here, dude. Who's doing that?
Well, so it's funny you say that because one of the things that I want to do, but also really don't want to do, is the skywalk in the Grand Canyon, where they have that loop and it's a glass bridge, and you walk out. It's like a
No,
U.
they don't.
Yeah, 100%. You've never seen this? I'll share it on the screen for
No,
those of you who don't
yeah.
know. Yeah,
Let
it's
me get
called the
eyes on
Sky.
this.
It's called the Skywalk Grand Canyon. It's actually owned.
Absolutely
It's
not.
actually owned by I think Native Americans who own this, I
Oh,
believe.
great. Good for
Um,
them.
yeah, oh, great.
Kind of give them
Um,
something. Give them a sky bridge. Yeah, that'll do it.
I think they. I don't think we gave it to them. I think they built it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They
Um,
built a glass bridge.
yeah, I think so. So
Oh,
here's what it looks like. Well, this is a quick. This is how far off it is. Which from this angle doesn't look that bad, but when you're in this angle,
yeah,
see if we can get eyes on this thing a little bit bigger.
yeah.
Camera. Come on,
That's a
pop up
big.
that.
That is a.
All right, so yeah, so you walk, and this is a terrible. You can't even. It doesn't even really do it justice. But this is all clear. This is all glass right here, and you can just see the walls are not. I guess they're a little higher than it looks, but these guys got their heads over the top.
Can you zoom in a little bit,
Yeah, let me keep zooming in. There we go.
dude? And with strangers,
Yeah,
you're out
and
of your
you're
mind.
look at
You're out of
these
your mind.
clowns laying down. What are you doing? Get up. So it looks like there's a leaning bar.
Okay. Oh,
What are you doing? God, idiots.
come on, man.
Come on, man. Yeah, so that's a real thing. And like again, from this view, like it doesn't look that bad. It's not
Is
that far
this
out, but
an observatory type thing? A restaurant? What
it's
is?
a museum. There might be a restaurant in it, but
Oh, that's a good view right there.
oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. So, but to your point,
Oof.
like I
I
don't love it. I don't love it.
I'd do it, but nah, I don't love it.
Yeah, but it gets my stomach thinking about this stuff, the same way yours does. And it's funny because you would think after all these years of us being in each other's lives and sharing so many memories that we would have like known this about each other. I didn't really know that you have a fear of heights in that capacity. Like I know you don't love flying the same way I don't love flying, but that's a whole different thing because that's a control thing more than anything else. This one is a very irrational fear. But
Yeah,
what's crazy.
but also, do I need to walk over a suspended bridge over my certain death? Do I need to do that? I can
No,
avoid it.
that's the point. That's the whole, and I take that same approach with everything. Can I drive to the city or do I have to fly? No. I mean, I make a decision based on what's required of me, and sometimes it is required unless I want to take 7 days to get somewhere. So the whole opening scene of this movie with the whole thing, I was right there with you. Like, is super tense, and it was the glass floor. And the other thing I was going to say to maybe we'll put a pin in the whole Final Destination segment here, but is of all the different ways that people died and were killed in this movie, the one that probably still haunts me more than anything is just falling from the sky.
Yeah.
That one, and people say they're like, "Oh, well, you'll pass out before you hit the ground." And in my
They
head,
don't know that.
I'm like, how do you know that?
Nobody knows that.
No,
That's just bullshit people tell
yeah,
themselves to make themselves
right.
feel better.
Yeah, so I'm all set with the going up in tall buildings. I don't think I will do it ever. Like I don't see myself going like, you know what I need to do hit the top of the Empire State Building. I don't know
On
that I need to
the
do it. Like if I go to New York, I don't know that I need to do that tour.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. And what about Dubai, the building in Dubai? Would you get up in that?
Are you out of your mind? No, if I'm not doing the Empire State Building, first of all, I'm not getting on the plane to get to Dubai. That's the first thing. So
Well,
it's out of the
fine.
question.
All right, fine. But if you were,
No, I'm not going up there. No,
I heard it sways. You can feel it moving.
shut up. Shut
I
up.
swear, I swear to God, I'm not lying. I swear to God, I've heard people say it. You have to, because the building has to have give.
Yeah, well, there's earthquake. Yeah, there's flex. There's flex.
But I heard
momentum, which is
you can like
terrifying.
kind of. But dude, think about there's like penthouses up there. Like I could never sleep
No,
comfortably.
no,
That's fucking insane.
it can sway up to 2 meters at the top. This is natural movement.
See,
Oh my God, yeah. There's that famous picture of if you guys haven't seen it, I can share this, but I think it's
imagine
Roger.
all the food in your cabinets just shifting every single night. Goddamn night.
Yeah, like this again, yeah. But there's that famous picture of, and I don't know if it's real. I've always wondered if it's real, of Roger Federer, the tennis player, playing in Agassi, playing um,
On
tennis
the
on
helipad.
the helipad.
Yes.
And is that real? This is the
I
Burj Al Arab is the name of the building.
I believe that is real. I'm pretty
Fact
sure
or
that's real.
fiction? It looks like, yeah, playing in front of, so it looks like they did play.
They didn't have like a match. It
No,
was a
but they were,
photo op.
no, it was a photo op, but it looks like they're playing, you know? So anyway, pretty nuts.
Can I just
All
say
right.
earlier I was when we were talking about arachnophobia, I was trying to
Yeah.
Google it and spell it with one hand and type it with one hand, and wow, what a nightmare that was.
Yeah.
And I was not successful, by the way. And it would not autocorrect to it either, which was very
Yeah.
frustrating.
On IMDb, you can just type in ARAC and,
I could have swore there was a remake with Sean William Scott or something, but I guess I'm crazy.
well, there might be a second, but I don't see one. I mean, usually it will come right up.
Or was that Eight-Legged Freaks?
That's probably what you're thinking of. Yeah,
I
that's
think
probably what
I'm
you're thinking.
Eight-Legged Freaks.
Yeah,
This
they
is
actually
bugging.
never remade
Bugging.
Arachnophobia or did a sequel. So I think sounds more like Sean Wood. No, that's David. Well, David
Nope.
Arquette.
Yep. Nope. I'm wrong on that. I'm 0 for 2 on the spider movies. Well, that's.
All
I guess
right,
it's
well.
not. I guess it's not my forte.
We should definitely give Arachnophobia a watch. So you probably haven't seen it now. But Jeff Daniels and John Goodman, like, we gotta watch that.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Maybe we'll
Yeah.
do that. Well, we had a couple. There's some good movies coming out, so I don't know. Maybe we'll do that as like a bonus thing.
Yeah, we can live cast that, like you said, and we'll have to. I don't know how we're gonna cut that up, but we can.
We can just record just use one video. Anyway, we just
Yeah.
sorry, it's
Yeah,
bad
we don't need
podcasting.
to.
Anyways,
Well, it's all good, guys. We're gonna just stay with us while we outline.
we're gonna all the technicalities. We're
We're
gonna
gonna wireframe this whole experience for you. Oh man. Okay, so let's get to what stinks this week for you.
Yeah, well, just I don't have too much, but update on the Battle of the Flies. I have come out victorious on the other end. It did take a few days. I did go to a Mas Taco for lunch the other day, and there was even another fly inside Mas Taco that was only fucking with me. There's 8 other people around me at the bar, and this fly which is really sucks because you're like, am I disgusting? And everybody's just watching this fly only attack one person. You feel like complete shit. It's embarrassing. I'm like, why is this fly? It wants nothing to do with anybody else but me.
This is inside the Mas Taco.
Yeah, inside. One fly, only on me. And it looked like the other flies in the car. So I don't know if it
Did
followed
you bring
me
it in?
there.
I think you brought it in.
I thought
Yeah.
I think I did. It hitched a fucking ride on me into the Mas Taco and was acting a goddamn fool. It was like having a toddler around that you gotta fucking corral every five goddamn seconds. As far as the car goes, I'm good. The car has been. I have taken back my land. I've seized what is rightfully mine, and Brock is back in action. With a new contract, by the way.
A new contract.
And then I just been me and the other tenant here at the Airbnb just been doing battle with the AC, because here's the thing, I don't like to get under the covers that night.
Sure.
I have two nice soft blankets. One of them is a minion blanket that the Airbnb owners and the other tenant brought back from Disneyland, which is very sweet. It's very soft. And I get into my boxers and that's it. And I want to be, I don't want to be bundled underneath the cover, especially now the weather's getting nicer. I cracked the window a little bit. I'm in my skivvies and I got my two soft blankets and that's all I want because the temperature change when it's freezing in the room and when you're under the covers, that's how you get sick. That's how you get pneumonia. This is how people get pneumonia because you're not supposed to go hot and cold, hot and cold, hot and cold. It's like fucking reheating food. You're not supposed to reheat food
There's
that many
zero
times.
medical precedent for this statement, but I love where you're going with it.
No,
This
what do
is
you
an
mean?
old wives' tale. This is
Dude,
just like you're gonna catch a cold if you get out in the shower and put your hair out there.
no, that's true, dude. This is science. This is proven fucking science. Your body temperature is not supposed to go up and down. Can we agree on that rapidly?
I don't know. I'm not gonna claim either way.
And here's the other thing. You could be fine, fine. I'll bundle underneath the covers. But the problem is I crush water, dude. And I've been crushing a lot of liquid IVs. So I'm pissing like 3 to 4 times a night. And I get
Right.
up and it's fucking an ice box
Right.
when I'm trying to go piss in the middle of the night. So what's happening now is I hold in my piss now, which is also not good for you. Someone's died. Someone on live radio from holding their pee too long. And now because
Uromycetitis. That is a medical precedent. Yes.
see,
Mm.
all right, now we're getting somewhere.
You're completely off on pneumonia. That's a fungus and bacterial thing, but yeah, you don't get it from temperature change.
Well, no, it starts somewhere. Everything has to start somewhere.
Yeah, okay.
But anyways, so now I'm holding in my pee because I don't want to get up because it's too cold, which is also not good. It's a snowball effect when you want it freezing ice cold in your house. So anyways, we in the middle of the night I go turn it off. In the middle of the night she goes turns it back on. I go turn it off. She turns it back on. It's like we're playing AC Pong. Just
with the
back.
with the
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's what I got going on this week. But other than that, chilling, baby.
All right, yeah, you're literally chilling at certain parts of the night. All right, so I got to fact
All
check
night.
myself, guys. Uromycetitis is not a real condition. It is made up from a Seinfeld episode, but this whole time I thought it was real. So that is not a real condition. Uromycetitis, however, basically, you just get dehydrated and your kidneys fail and do crazy, or not dehydrated, you get overhydrated or something like that.
Well, that doesn't sound good.
Yeah, it's not great.
Plus, you get
Um,
pneumonia.
you don't get the money. All right, so I'm right there with you on the whole thing, except for I don't have to get out of bed, which is why I can deal with it.
To piss?
My wife,
How do you
not
do
in the
that?
middle of the night, not in the middle of the night. I just don't. I don't. Well, first of all, I don't drink a lot. Like, I mean, I drink as much as like I feel like I'm
Mm,
drinking a lot, but I'm not drinking like what you're probably doing in terms of like fluids, right? I don't drink, but for whatever reason, I'm still good right now, even at the ripe old age of 42. I'm not getting up and peeing 3 times a night. Basically, I can go all night. I don't get up like that. I'm not aging out like you are apparently right now.
yeah, dude, you
Uh,
got to drink more water.
I try, I really do. But
You need
so
it.
I don't have that problem.
I'm
But
gonna get you the Awala. I'm getting you an Awala.
dude,
That's
I
it. Don't
have
worry
I
about it.
have camel. I got so many thermoses.
Yeah, but
It
you don't
doesn't.
got this. I'll
All right.
hook you up. Don't worry. I got you.
Okay, you hooked me up. But my wife keeps a frigid 66, I mean,
That's
maybe
insane.
64 some nights. Like and then dude, you think that's crazy? We got the overhead fan going on top of that. It is a literal tundra in our room. But when we get under the covers, dude, like it all balances out because the body heat, we both run super hot, and I think most people probably do. And so it actually is fine. But I do understand there are times in the morning I'm like, God, I really don't want to get out of bed, especially in the winter, because it is an absolute ice box.
It's like that in the
Jesus.
winter.
We keep it like shit, it's all year. Yeah, all year long.
Oh
It's
my
a
God, that's
frigid
fucking
65
insane.
degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So guess what temperature we've been fighting of?
Like 72 or something like that. Yeah, exactly. Well, most people keep it at well, and your Airbnb, and I've met the owner of that Airbnb, and
They're
the
good people.
thermostat they are, but the thermostat it's a different world in that resort. They don't love keeping things. I mean, if you can even get it below 75, I'd have to ask how you did it because it's you know
Yeah,
They don't
they're
like it. They don't love
big
that.
big on open windows, which I am too. I got it. Again, even in the summer, even when it's 100 degrees out and you walk into a blistering cold house, it's cool for about 5 minutes until you get acclimated, and then you're like, "This is dog shit." But I got to go put on sweats in the summer in my
Yeah, no,
house.
no, I've never had to do that. It's too hot.
I'm
See,
doing it.
it acclimates though. To your point, the acclimation is a real thing. Like, because like I said, we keep it 66 ish, whether it's winter or summer. But the thermostat is still 66, so it's really not different. But your body it acclimates to the season, so it's kind of a weird thing. But
You live in that ice hotel,
I'll tell
literally.
you what though, I have to. It's got to be that way. One thing I can't do, which sounds like you don't have a problem with this, but I definitely do. And maybe it's because we have the different dads, and our dad is similar to the Airbnb owner, which is that he runs shit at 79 degrees and 80 if he could, which is crazy. But
No, that's nuts.
I can't be hot, dude. So if you give me a choice, and we and you don't this is where we are not the same. I've seen Christian at Oracle Park. Yeah, slight breeze. The kid
A
almost
slight breeze.
yeah, the
Slight
kid,
breeze.
yeah.
Slight
Yeah,
breeze.
I've
Okay.
never seen a man as freezing as this kid was. He didn't come prepared. I'll give you that. You had a windbreaker, which is definitely not going to get the job done at Oracle Park in September. I had a leather jacket. I came prepared, but yeah, no, I cannot be hot. Like there's not enough layers in the world. I could be butt naked and it would not matter. Like I can't be hot because I will be so uncomfortable. I'm tossing and turning all night, like sweating. Yeah, I can't do it. I'd rather
Yeah.
have it as a tundra.
Yeah, not hot. Yeah, I don't like being that hot either. I don't know, but man, I had a point. I was gonna say something, but I forgot. Yeah, damn it. Well, what can you do?
Sorry, I ruined it for you.
No, it's all good. It's had something to do with temperatures.
Quick science check. Do you know what the temperature is before water freezes?
32.
Nice. I just learned that this weekend
Really?
as an adult, which is hilarious because the clothing brand that I would sponsor on this podcast, if they would let me, is 32 Degrees. It's the best clothing brand in the world. Free sponsor for them. Go check out their clothes, 32degrees.com. Comfortable, all kinds of different styles. It is the only activewear you should be concerning yourself with. It's that good.
I
I
have
love
to
them.
check this out.
Oh, dude, it's the best. I got their socks. I got everything. So, all right. So that's what you got this week. For me, what stinks this week? Woo. I don't have a long-winded story here, but I got two things. First, and we've probably broached this subject before, but the expectations for basic service, it stinks. We have lowered the bar so much as a society, and by that I blame young people and their parents, so I guess it's all of us collectively, that this occurred this week. We are at a Taco Bell drive-through with no, you're gonna love this. You're gonna love it. It's a very quick story. And with my wife, and we go through a Taco Bell drive-through, and not super long. We get in and out of there, not too bad. The kid, 18-year-old kid probably, hands the bag of food, and he says, "Thank you. You guys have a good enjoy. Thank you. You guys have a good night." And
Right.
my wife turns to me and goes, "Well, that was sweet." And call me crazy, guys. That's the bar. That is the bare minimum I would expect a person handling my food and dealing with people to exhibit. And the bar is so low that not only was my wife surprised by it, she was ready to give this kid a Nobel Peace Prize emotionally because he said, "Thank you, enjoy, have a good night." And I'm absolutely overselling her reaction. I don't mean to like call out my wife as like being over dramatic, but her reaction was genuine, like, "Well, that was sweet." And I'm like, I can't believe this is the bar. I can't believe that this is the bar that we have set. So that stinks this week because I think it's insane that doing the bare minimum makes people go, "Wow." I walked into the room and I was like, "Wow." He said, "Thank you."
We love the manners.
Manners, basic service.
I
And
would say at a Taco Bell, that is pretty rare that you get that. So,
that's
and
the
I hear,
point.
and I hear
That's
what
the
you're
whole
saying.
point. Yeah,
I hear
is
what
that
you're
it is
saying.
rare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially at a T Bell.
I
Yeah,
heard they're just gonna
that's
change it to the Bell soon. They're getting they're getting rid of the taco.
they already changed it to the Bell. It's already back to Taco Bell. You missed it.
It was so brief.
It happened. It happened during this podcast.
They had a board meeting and they were like, "What? That's not good. Bring it back."
By the way, have you tried that chicken cantina menu? Anything on there yet?
I have not, but my kids did, and apparently,
It's pretty good.
the chicken cantina taco was apparently fire.
The quesadilla is pretty fire.
But I don't. I make it a habit to try and not eat at fast food. I just,
You did not partake?
no, I did not partake.
Wow.
I'm pretty good about staying away from fast food for the most part. I don't mess with
Oh,
it.
man, I can't. A good T-bell sesh though.
I mean, when they
It's
bring back the
tough.
Mexi Melt, I go on a 2 week binger,
You can
bender slash
you
binger.
always do that. You can get a Mexi Melt anytime. You
No,
know
you
this, right?
cannot. It's not on the
Yes, you
menu.
can. It doesn't matter. They can make it. You just
Well,
gotta
I
ask
don't.
for it.
Okay, yeah, but see, now I feel like freaking Jerry Seinfeld here. I'm like, I just order as is. I don't ask him to customize anything. I don't want to make him do anything. I don't want any secret menu options. I make it easy for them. Number
It
one,
is
that's
easy. They
it.
know it is. They know how to make it.
How is it? Because
Oh,
this. Let's talk about this, and you know where I'm headed. Go ahead, talk about how easy it is.
are you talking about?
Yes,
I'm
that's
assuming you're
exactly
talking
what I'm
about
talking.
the
Yes,
coffee.
yes.
Like a month or two ago, we were at the movies and they have Starbucks, a couple Starbucks.
Cinemarcus and
Yeah.
Starbucks have.
They have a limited menu though. And I think it was like a month or two ago. It was lagging a little bit and they don't have Red Bull. They only sell that white monster, which I fucking
Stinks.
don't like. Yeah, I don't like it at all. And it's 16 ounces, which I don't fucking need. So I was like, I'll just get a double shot of espresso. And speaking of ordering as is as it fucking gets
Yeah.
is literally I didn't ask for any flavor, just nothing, no milk, nothing, just 2 shots of espresso, and I pretty much broke the entire place shut down for about 10 minutes. The cashier had no idea what I was even referring to, and I had to explain just 2 shots of espresso, and then they had to get her supervisor or whatever, his supervisor, and they were talking about it like they were drawing up plans for a new skyscraper. It was fucking crazy. It was one of them had a pencil in their ear. They're like pointing at the machine. They're like pointing at the machine, pointing at back at each other.
There's a lot of
Everyone's
shoulder shrugs and hand movements.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was insane. And so, anyways, they figured it out. And so today we were there and we were talking about it. And I was like, you know what? A nice latte sounds really good.
Which is just
And
on the menu. It's on their menu. It's one of the
yeah,
4 Starbucks drinks that they offer is an iced caramel macchiato, an iced latte, and like 2 other things, and
they
that's
have
it.
the mocha, the white mocha, whatever. So then I was like, well, you know what? Caramel macchiato sounds even better. I was like, and the whole time I was nervous. I was like, I don't know if I want to put them through this again. It was kind of busy too. It's actually pretty busy.
Mhm.
There's people behind us, so I had that stress. But I was like, fuck it, I want it. Sounds good. So I ordered the iced caramel macchiato, and the girl with all confidence in the world goes, yeah, sure, no problem. So I was like, yes,
Nailed it. Yeah, we got this.
nailed it. So I pay, and she goes, "It's just gonna be a few minutes." I'm like, "All right, cool." So I step aside, and I look over the counter, and they immediately pull out a fucking binder as thick as all the Harry Potter books combined, and they start flipping through this binder like the last fucking what's her name, Corinne Jean Pierre, the last
Excuse me? What was that? What in the hell was that?
press secretary, whatever her name is, Corinne, what's her name?
Oh, I
Who's
don't know. Couldn't remind.
yeah,
Couldn't tell you.
oh, well, whatever. She was
You're talking
flipping through
about
the
Biden's
yeah,
press
Biden's.
secretary?
Yeah, who was always flipping through her binder a million times.
Oh,
That's what they were doing.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Corinne,
Corinne Jean Pierre. Yeah.
All right, Corinne Jean Pierre. Yeah. Anyways, so I'm like, fuck, dude. There's 3 different people, but then finally, I guess the big brass came by and he was like, oh, caramel macchiato, blah, blah, this is how you do it, whatever. But so nobody in there knows how to make any of these drinks. No one's been trained on it. I'm the only person
That's ever ordered it.
that's ever ordered any of it. Probably all the shit's probably expired. But
So what's funny about this is that Christian was behind me. We ordered, some popcorn and whatever. My wife did. So we got out of Christian's way. The girls had to use the bathroom. So we leave the cashier. We leave Christian alone on an island to handle himself. And so we're waiting over there, and I knew he had ordered this, and I knew it was a gamble, but I'm like, all right, the girl looks confident, like you said. So a few minutes go by, and I'm starting to go, because Christian's not coming. He's not coming. And, but just when I was about to pull out my phone to like text you, you were walking up. And it wasn't until about an hour later where I pulled my phone out and I get this message from Christian that says they pulled out a recipe binder, LMAO. So that was hilarious. So anyway, man, yeah, no one's ever ordered a Starbucks at this Cinemark. I guess they don't know how to make it.
I
Yeah.
might, but it might be, and I'd be the asshole for even
It's on
attempting.
the menu. There's only 4 drinks. They got pictures of it up there.
Yeah, but everybody fucking knows that there's things on the menu you don't order because they're fucking annoying for people to make. But I don't know.
Right.
Neither.
And this is the point. This guy,
Maybe if
he wants me to go out on a limb and order a Mexi Melt that's not even on the goddamn menu at a Taco Bell.
bro, come on, that's
And
different.
is it? Is it?
That's way different because they know how to make a Mexi Melt. They all know.
I can't wait till we do this together.
You don't think they're making themselves Mexi Melts for lunch?
Dog, I bet you most of the people weren't even born when Mexi Melts were a thing. They don't even know what it is.
They definitely do.
Until recently, when the Decades menu came out, they've never heard of it before.
Dude, they literally pass down the legend of the Mexi Melt to each new employee. It's like
it can
it's
only
like
be eaten by those who've already had it.
it can only be made by those who've already eaten it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, according to no, see, this is so funny. It says, yeah, you can order it when the Decades menu's back out. Then you can order it. Someone on the Google, the internet said that.
Fuck Google. ChatGPT that bitch.
There is someone on Reddit that said, just order a cheesy roll up with extra cheese, add pico de gallo, and seasoned beef. I'm like, okay, guys, I'm not trying to have them create a whole thing here. I just want to mix them up. Anyway, crazy.
Dude, I'll get you. You want to get crazy? I will fucking have them make me a spicy enchilada. I will fucking do it, dude.
Oh my god, that's like asking for the McRib when it's not on the menu.
No. Okay, they physically don't have that, though.
That's true. That was a bad example. Yeah, sorry, that was a bad example.
They have all the fucking ingredients to do it. But
all
you're
right.
I would never do it either.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a very stern rule with the whole like ordering things. It makes me actually cringe if I'm with anybody, even my own girls and stuff, my own family. Like when they order things and they say, hold this, know that, add this, my eyebrows singe. I get very uncomfortable. The
thing is too, you can do all that, but they're most likely gonna fuck it up. So
and they often do, which is why I'm like, yep, they can't handle it. I don't know what it is. They cannot handle it, dude.
Yeah.
You know, one thing I will say is it's been a while since anyone's actually forgotten my food, but it has happened to Jamie. She's had a Gym Boys fiasco where they just forgot a whole item. So it's like, okay, like someone, and that's the thing, right? That's the gamble when you're in a drive-thru. Why are we sealing? Can we talk about this for a minute? Why are we sealing up the food at a drive-thru? You should hand me every item. No, forget that. Even before or after. You should hand me every item.
On it.
They do, but here's what I want. This is what I want them to do. I want them to hand me a bag, and then I want them to hand me each item so I can check it off the list as I bag it. That way, I'm not getting home just playing this game of Russian roulette. Like, maybe it's there, maybe it's not. I can't, I want to know right now. I'm not driving back. Do you know how much money they make on people not going back and getting this food?
So you want to clock on.
I want to make sure. Dude, if I'm paying whatever it is, $1.70, whatever it is, for my cheesy roll up, I want that roll up in there.
Bagging your own fast food is
dude, I can't trust them. Right? It's more the principle, it's more the idea that I'm just supposed to trust that it's all there. That's more the idea. Because I'm not driving back. I'm not, especially if you're on a road trip. You're totally hosed then.
Yeah.
And so what do people do? A lot of people who share my paranoia, they just drive into the parking lot, unbox it, unbag it, and then check. And it's like, well, that's a pain.
Yeah. In-N-Out is pretty transparent, where they just hand you the open face box.
And you know what else they do? They keep the menu very simple. It's very hard to mess that up.
I know, but they should change it.
No, absolutely. See, this is why you're not allowed in their board meetings. This is why you're not allowed in. Christian wants to change In-N-Out to just and out, and then see how it works.
I don't want to. I don't want to change. I don't want to get crazy. Just add a couple things.
What do you want to add?
Bacon.
Oh, we've talked about this before. This was a big problem you had. You've been holding on to this dream for several years because we talked about this like 9 years ago.
Yeah, I've been saying this my entire life. Just put fucking bacon on the menu. Grow up.
Maybe. Shout out to our friend Alex. Oh, grow up. Okay. Love that.
Insane.
I do think they could stand to chop up bacon. They could do it in a very In-N-Out way. Chop it up like little real, not fake bacon bits, but like real bacon bits, and then just throw that in with the onion.
They would never do fake. Yeah, they could definitely do that. That's insane.
I don't know, but I gotta respect the model.
Listen,
they stay
It wasn't it. Didn't Apple fire Steve Jobs at one point? So
They,
some people
they,
just can't. Some people just can't recognize genius, and it is what it is. You know.
they're like, there's some kid, some snot-nosed pitbull kid that's back there with his giant safety pin. He's like, I got an idea. They're like, we don't want to hear it, Timmy.
Like, shut the fuck up. You're on
Bacon?
potatoes. You're on
Bacon?
potatoes, and we're behind.
You're
Get the
fired.
fucking. All right, you're rehired. We got a lot of potatoes.
We
Get
got
on,
a
get
lot
on
of
the line.
potatoes.
Get on the
Yes.
fucking line.
Some kid's like, maybe a little seasoned salt on these potatoes. You're fired, Timmy. No
Yeah.
seasoned
Oh,
salt.
yeah. You're out of your mind. They're like, but put black pepper on it or something. I don't know. It's all topsy turvy over there at the In-N-Out.
They got a model that works, so love you guys. They're killing it. All right, I think that's a good place to end it. Had a good time today, guys.
Yeah. What a fun one.
Don't forget to go. The easiest way to find us is go to thescreengods.com. All of our socials are on the bottom of the homepage. I think on most pages.
That catalog's getting pretty.
This is episode 25. This is episode 25.
Feels like
I think we
50.
finally have enough. Well, for you, it might be. You've done a few twice.
Yeah.
But I do think it is time. We have enough content now where we can actually talk about, like, well, maybe we should actually market it because, otherwise it's just us here hanging out. So
Yeah.
we got a catalog full of stuff that's a share. So we should
All
do
in due
that.
time.
All in due time. All right,
As
guys.
always, guys, thanks for the support. We love you. We will check with you guys next week.
What's on deck
Later.
for next week?
Friendship.
Looking forward to it. Paul Rudd. Nobody does not like Paul Rudd. And if you do, I'll fight you.
I'm pretty sure it's yeah. So yeah, looking forward to that one a lot. But
Awesome.
yeah, we'll see you guys then. Later.
All right. Love you.